I invested $500,000 in my son's restaurant, hoping for family pride. And when I asked about the opening date, his wife replied coldly, "It was a week ago. We only invited our closest family and friends." Am I his father, not among his closest family and friends? A few days later, she called, shouting, "The bills are overdue. Did you transfer the money?" The betrayal hit me like a knife, but I smiled, and you won't believe how I responded. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. The door opened before I could knock. Inez stood there in head-to-toe designer athletic wear, iPhone clutched like a weapon. Her eyes landed on the champagne bottle in my right hand, the vintage poster tube under my left arm, and something shifted in her expression. Not warmth. Recognition, maybe. The kind you give a stranger who's lost. Silas? Not a greeting, a statement. Behind her, I could see into the open-plan living room, shopping bags clustered by the stairs, at least 6 or 7 of them. Logos I recognized even from 15 feet away. Nordstrom. Saks. The kind of bags that came with tissue paper and ribbon. Where's Nate? I kept my voice light, celebratory. $70 for this champagne. Dom Perignon, the real deal. I wanted to catch him before the restaurant opening. I'd been checking my phone for the invitation, but I figured... I stopped. Her face had gone carefully blank. The kind of blank that means something. As a documentary filmmaker for 40 years, I knew that look. I'd filmed it 100 times. It meant, "You don't know, do you?" "When's the grand opening?" I asked. "I've been waiting for the date. I want to help set up, meet the staff, maybe bring my old film equipment to document." "It was last Tuesday." The words hung there. Last Tuesday. I watched her face. No apology, no embarrassment. I'm sorry, what? The opening. Last Tuesday. We kept it small. Only the closest people. 6 bags, 7 maybe. The tissue paper kind that comes with a smile and a credit card warning. I'd paid for a restaurant. Apparently I'd also paid for a Nordstrom shopping spree. Diversified investment, I supposed. "Closest people," I repeated. The champagne bottle grew warm in my hand. "I gave you $500,000. And we're grateful." She leaned against the doorframe. Relaxed, like we were discussing weather. "But it's our business, Silas. Your money doesn't make you a partner." "Our business? I funded half the startup capital. You gave Nate money. That doesn't mean you get to show up whenever you want." I set the poster tube against the porch railing. My hands needed something to do besides shake. "I'm his father. And this is his restaurant, his dream, not yours. I paid for the dream. You wrote a check." She pulled her phone from her pocket. Checked the screen. Put it back. "That's different." My phone came out. Muscle memory. I pulled up Nate's contact. Hit call. Inez watched me, eyebrow raised. Nate answered on the 4th ring. Kitchen noise behind him. Clattering. Voices. "Dad, I'm kind of in the middle." "Your wife just told me the restaurant opened last week." Silence. Then, "Yeah, we meant to call." "Meant to call? I invested $500,000? "Dad, listen, we can talk about this later. I'm slammed right now." "Nate, I'm standing on your doorstep with champagne." The line went dead. The dial tone hummed in my ear. Professional disconnect. The kind you give telemarketers. My son had just telemarketed me. "You need to leave." Inez's voice had gone cold. Sharp. "I'm Nate's father. And this is Nate's house. Our house. You're not welcome here right now." "Not welcome. I paid for your dream." "You wrote a check, Silas. That's all. Don't confuse that with having rights." My GoPro. I carried it everywhere. Habit from 4 decades of documentary work. You never stop recording. You never know what you'll catch. It came out of my jacket pocket. Small. Black. Innocent looking. I hit record. "What are you doing?" Inez straightened up. "Documenting." I kept my voice level. "That's what I do." "You can't film me." "Public doorstep. Technically I can." I wasn't sure about the legality, but she didn't move to stop me. Her face flushed. "This is harassment." "This is a conversation. You're the one who opened the door." She stepped back. The door started to close. I kept the GoPro running, steady in my hand. In the tiny preview screen, I could see past Inez's shoulder. Her iPhone sat on the entrance table. Screen up. As I watched, it lit up. A push notification. White text on green background. Even on the small GoPro screen, I could read it clearly. "Golden Palace Casino Online. Your $5,000 withdrawal is pending." The door shut. I stood there on the porch, champagne in one hand, camera in the other, staring at the closed door. $5,000, pending withdrawal, from an online casino. I looked down at the GoPro, still recording. I smiled for the first time since I'd arrived. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, still parked on Nate's street. The GoPro footage played on loop, 3 seconds of Inez's phone screen lighting up. Casino notification, $5,000. Withdrawal pending. The champagne bottle sat in the passenger seat, sweating condensation onto the leather. I drove home. No radio, just Portland traffic and my own breathing. 15 minutes that felt like hours. My house on Hawthorne Boulevard looked the same as when I'd left it 2 hours ago. Same weathered porch, same overgrown rhododendrons, same mail slot, everything normal, everything different. I went straight to my office, the converted second bedroom I'd claimed when Nate moved out 30 years ago. Shelves of documentary DVDs, Emmy nomination certificates, old film equipment gathering dust. I connected the GoPro to my laptop, full screen, high resolution. Frame by frame, I went through it. Professional analysis, the kind I'd done for 40 years, looking for the truth hidden in plain sight. Shopping bags, at least 8, not 6. Nordstrom, Saks, Neiman Marcus, one from Tiffany's. The entrance table, mail stacked up. Bills, probably. Unopened, Inez's face, that blank expression when I'd mentioned the opening. She'd known I didn't know. And the notification. Crystal clear in 4K. Golden Palace Casino Online. Your $5,000 withdrawal is pending. 3 days passed. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I researched. Google first. Harvest and Rye, Portland. Food blog reviews. Instagram posts from the opening night. Photos of the dining room, the bar. Happy faces. I zoomed in on each image. Nate in his chef's whites. Inez playing hostess. People I didn't recognize. People who were apparently close enough. Instagram, next. Inez's profile was public. Of course it was. Influencers need audiences. Her bio read, living my dream, restaurant manager, manifesting abundance. Manifesting. I'd manifested her abundance with a personal check for $500,000. Maybe I should update her bio. Successfully conned father-in-law, master manipulator, online casino enthusiast, photo after photo. Michelin star restaurants, designer boutiques, spa days, wineries, each post captioned with inspirational quotes about living your best life and manifesting abundance. It was 2 a.m. Wednesday when I did it, deep in her Instagram archive, 8 months back. A photo of her and Nate at some charity gala. Black tie, big smiles. Caption, grateful for the people who believe in our dreams. My thumb slipped. Double tap, heart icon, red. No. I unliked it. Fast. 3 seconds maybe. Did notifications work that fast? Did Instagram send an alert even if you unliked immediately? 2 a.m. 76 years old. Stalking my daughter-in-law's Instagram. This was my life now. Thursday afternoon. My phone rang. Inez. I stared at her name on the screen for 3 rings before answering. Silas. Her voice was honey, sugar sweet. I'm so glad you picked up. I said nothing. Let the silence sit. I wanted to apologize for Monday. I was stressed, and I snapped at you. That wasn't fair. No, I said. It wasn't. The thing is... A pause. I could hear the calculation. We're in a bit of a crisis. The walk-in cooler died last night. Completely fried. The repair estimate is $18,000. $18,000. And we've got supplier invoices coming due. $23,000. And the landlord is threatening to terminate the lease if we don't... How much do you need? I kept my voice flat. If you could help us with $50,000, it would... $50,000. I laughed. Couldn't help it. $50,000. This is funny to you? Her sweetness was curdling. Fast. I'm just appreciating the irony. Monday, I'm not close enough to be invited to the opening. Thursday, I'm close enough to be an ATM. Silas? Tell me, Inez, what's the exact distance that qualifies as closest people? Is there a measurement? Because I'm trying to figure out where $500,000 falls on that scale. Silence. Then, you invested in this business. Did I? Because investments usually come with paperwork, contracts, partnership agreements. Funny thing, I don't seem to have any of those. If this restaurant fails, you lose everything. Her voice had gone cold again. The honey was gone. Every penny of that 500,000 gone. That's a threat? That's a fact. You want to be petty about not getting invited to a party? Fine. Watch your investment burn. Watch Nate lose everything he's worked for, his dream, because you're having hurt feelings. Hurt feelings, I repeated the word slowly. Is that what you think this is? What else would you call it? Pattern recognition. She hung up on me again. After she hung up on me again, apparently that was a family trait now, I sat there holding my phone. The screen showed call ended. 14 minutes, 37 seconds. 14 minutes and 37 seconds of my life I'd never get back. Should have saved that time for something productive, like repeatedly banging my head against a wall. Same net result, more honest pain. I called Naomi. Video call. She answered immediately, her home office in Vancouver visible behind her. Tato! Her voice came through crystal clear. Tell me what happened. I did. All of it. The uninvitation, the confrontation, Inez's call. Naomi's face got tighter with each sentence. I told you last year, she said quietly. Remember? Thanksgiving? You said she'd changed. I said she was using you. I said Nate was letting her. You said I was being paranoid. I looked at my hands. 76 years old, and my daughter had seen what I'd missed. You were right. Tato, listen to me. They're not going to stop. They'll take everything you'll give them, and then they'll blame you when it's not enough. Nate's my son. I know, and I'm your daughter. The one who calls you every week. The one who sent you money when your roof needed repairs. The one who... She stopped, breathed. Sorry, this isn't about me. But it was. It was about all of it. After we hung up, I sat at my desk, her words echoing. They'll take everything you'll give them. I opened a new browser tab, typed Oregon Secretary of State Business Registry. Searched Harvest and Rye, LLC. The page loaded. Oregon Business Registry. Harvest and Rye, LLC. Active. I clicked through. Business type. Limited liability company. Registered date. August 15th, 2024. Registered agent. Nathaniel J. Gardner. Business address. 2847 SE Division Street, Portland, OR 97214. Members listed. 1. Nathaniel James Gardner, Managing Member. Inez Marie Gardner, Managing Member. I scrolled down, kept scrolling. Additional members. None. Additional investors. None. Partnership agreements on file. None. My name wasn't there. I'd given them $500,000 in September. The LLC had been registered a month before that, before Nate had come to me, before the "we need your help, Dad" conversation, before the business plan, before the promises about partnership and shared profits. They'd registered the business without me, then asked for my money. I sat back. The chair creaked. Not a mistake. Not an oversight. A plan. I opened my desk drawer. At the back, under old lens caps and memory cards, I found what I was looking for, the canceled check. $500,000. Pay to the order of Nathaniel Gardner. Not Harvest and Rye, LLC. Not Gardner and Gardner Partnership. Nathaniel Gardner. Personal check. Personal account. My hands started shaking again, but not from anxiety this time. I pulled out my phone and texted Naomi. You were right. About everything. I need your help with something. Her response came 30 seconds later. Anything. What do you need? I looked at the check. The LLC registration. Inez's Instagram feed still open on my laptop. Her latest post from that morning. A photo of the Harvest and Rye dining room. Golden hour light. Perfectly plated food. Caption. Small businesses are built on trust, family, and hard work. Living the dream, family, business, out your gratitude. I smiled. Not a happy smile. The smile I used to get when I found the perfect ending for a documentary. When all the pieces finally clicked into place. When the story revealed itself. I typed back to Naomi. I need you to help me make a film. The text to Naomi still glowed on my phone. I need you to help me make a film. But before I could plan anything, I needed to understand one thing. How did I get here? I closed the laptop, closed my eyes. The memory came back sharp and clear. 8 months ago. Late August, Sunday afternoon. The doorbell rang at 2 p.m. Nate stood on my porch, nervous energy radiating off him like heat. He carried a black leather portfolio under one arm. Tato? He hadn't called me that in years. Can I come in? I made coffee. We sat at the kitchen table. He spread the business plan in front of me. 30 pages. Bound. Professional looking. I've been working on this for 2 years, he said. His hands shook slightly. Every detail. Menu costs, labor projections, market analysis. The bank approved 300,000, but I need 500,000 more. I'd already read the executive summary. Equipment, build-out, licenses, and operating capital, 6 months. He looked up, met my eyes. Tato, I know it's a lot, but this isn't just a loan. This is partnership. You'd be an investor. Profit sharing. Official paperwork. Everything legal and clean. I saw something in his face I hadn't seen in years. Hope. Excitement. My son finally passionate about something. $500,000. I'd agonized more over buying my Toyota Camry. Test drove 3 different models. Negotiated for 2 days. But a $500,000 investment in my son's restaurant. Same-day approval. No test drive required. Inez had been quiet, letting Nate talk. Now she leaned forward, different from the woman who'd shut the door in my face 8 months later. This Inez was warm, engaged. Silas, you'd be part of our dream, she said. Not just financially. We want your advice. Your experience. You built a production company from nothing. I understand film, I corrected. Restaurants are different, but success principles are the same, right? She smiled. Genuine. Or convincingly fake, I still don't know. We need someone we trust. That got me. Someone who cares. Who else cared more than a father? The paperwork, I said. Partnership agreement. I'll need to see. Next week, Nate interrupted. I'm meeting with the business attorney Thursday. You'll be listed as founding partner. 20% ownership. I wrote the check at my desk. My hand didn't shake. I felt good. Purposeful. I can't believe you're doing this, Nate said from behind me. His voice was thick. Tato, thank you. I turned, handed him the check. Partners now. He took it, stared at it. Partners. He hugged me. Quick, tight. He hadn't hugged me in 5 years. Paperwork by next week? I asked when he pulled back. Next week. Guaranteed. That was August 23rd. The paperwork never came. Looking back now, I could see it clearly. They never intended to make me a partner. But in that moment, in my kitchen with my son's arms around me, I believed every word. I opened my eyes. Back in the present. Thursday night, April. The memory tasted bitter. Friday morning, I met Gideon at Blend Coffee House on Hawthorne. He arrived 15 minutes late, apologetic. Daughter's soccer game. Without a written contract, Gideon set down his espresso. Silas, you're screwed. Tell me something helpful, Gid. That is helpful. It's honest. He picked up the canceled check copy I'd brought. You wrote this to Nathaniel Gardner personally, not to the LLC. Verbal agreements can be enforceable, I said. Under Oregon partnership law, yes. But you'd need to prove you agreed to be partners, contributed capital with expectation of partnership, participate in business decisions. Can you prove any of that? I thought about it. Text messages promising updates. A few phone calls, nothing substantial. Not really. Then legally this is a gift. Generous, stupid, but legal. What about the LLC registration? It's dated before he asked me for money. Gideon's eyebrows rose. Is it? August 15th? He came to me August 23rd. That's interesting. Suggests premeditation, but still doesn't give you ownership. $500,000? No contract? No paperwork? I'd spent 40 years making documentaries about financial fraud, and I'd become the world's easiest mark. If I pitched this story to a producer, they'd reject it as unrealistic. So I sue? I asked. Drag my son into court? That's one option. Long shot, expensive, ugly. Family relationships destroyed forever. Gideon watched me. But you're not going to do that. No. Then what? I looked out the caf, window, Hawthorne Boulevard, Sunday afternoon, people walking dogs, living normal lives. You know what I did for 40 years? I said. I documented truth. I showed people who they really were. You're going to make a documentary. I'm going to make them famous. Gideon sat back. A slow smile spread across his face. That's either brilliant or insane. Why not both? We talked another hour. He offered to write a demand letter, $500, friendship discount. I declined. He understood. If you're going to do this your way, he said, at least let me review what you create before you show it publicly. Make sure you're not committing libel. Deal. I drove home, went straight to my spare bedroom. The closet held boxes stacked floor to ceiling, camera cases, tripods, lighting equipment, microphones. The last time I'd used this camera, I was filming a documentary about pension fraud in Milwaukee. The irony wasn't lost on me. I'd interviewed elderly victims who'd trusted family members with their retirement money. Never imagined I'd join their ranks. I set up the Sony FS7 on my desk, connected it to my laptop. The screen glowed. I opened my laptop, created a new folder. Harvest of Lies, documentary project. Inside, subfolders, subject interviews, empty. B-roll footage, empty. Financial documents, timeline, empty. Script outline, empty. My phone buzzed. Text from Gideon. Serious question. Are you really going to make a documentary about your son? I typed back. Not about my son, about betrayal. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Make sure you can live with the consequences. I looked at the camera, at my reflection in the black lens. 76 years old, gray hair, lines around my eyes from 40 years of squinting through viewfinders. Not broken. I picked up the camera, attached the battery pack. Time to make a documentary, I said out loud. The camera's red recording light blinked on. I started making calls. Portland food critics, a tech-savvy colleague's grandson who knew hidden cameras, my old post-production editor. Halfway through my 3rd call, my email notification chimed. From Naomi Sullivan. Subject, I'm coming to Portland. Tato, I booked a flight. Arriving Thursday. We're doing this right. You're not fighting them alone anymore. Also, I have some information about Inez you're going to want to hear. Call me tonight. I stared at the screen. Thursday, 3 days away. Information about Inez. My daughter. My ally. I felt something I hadn't felt in 2 weeks. Hope. Not for reconciliation. Hope for justice. Naomi arrived Thursday afternoon. I picked her up at PDX and we drove straight to my house. She'd taken 4 days off work, left her husband with the kids, booked a last-minute flight. Okay, she said in my kitchen, spreading her own file of documents on the table. Before you start your documentary, you need to see this. She pulled out a credit report. Inez Marie Winters. 23 pages. How did you get this? I asked. Naomi's mouth twitched. I have a friend in banking. Public records search plus skip tracing techniques. Everything here is legally obtained. My architect daughter knows skip tracing. My husband had debt issues before we married. I learned things. She tapped the report. Look at this. Nordstrom card. $23,000 balance. Saks. $18,000. She's maxing out every card. I scanned the pages. Golden Palace Casino. Multiple charges. Online gambling. I marked all gambling-related transactions. 47 in the last 6 months. 47? She has a problem, Tato. A serious problem. And she used your money to feed it. By Friday morning, I had a plan. Phase 1. Document everything. The restaurant had been open 2.5 weeks. Time to become their best customer. Friday night, 6:30 p.m. I walked into Harvest and Rye. The hostess seated me at a corner table. The waitress approached. Young. Name tag, Kendra. Can I start you with something to drink? Coffee, please. Black. I smiled. Friendly old man smile. Restaurant just opened, right? How's it going? Fine. Flat. Practiced. Menu's right there. Friend recommended this place. You like working here? Her eyes slid away. It's a job. Not enthusiastic. Staff morale problem. I made a mental note. My GoPro in the messenger bag by my feet captured everything. The menu was pretentious. Farm-to-table seasonal vegetables harvested with intention. I ordered the scallops. $28 for 3 scallops. $9 per scallop. The scallops arrived. They were perfect. Seared beautifully. Nate was talented, no question. Too bad his talent came with a side of betrayal. Saturday. Sunday. Monday. I came back each day. Same section, same waitress. Taking notes, using my phone constantly. Monday afternoon, I positioned myself near the bar. Inez's voice carried from the back. Phone pressed to her ear. No, Dennis, you can't do that. We had an agreement. Pause. I understand you have other clients, but we're talking about $23,000 in product. Longer pause. Fine. Next week. We'll pay next week. But if you cut us off before then, I will personally make sure every restaurant in Portland knows. She stopped. Listened. That's not a threat. It's a promise. Click. She hung up, stood there a moment, deep breath. Then she smoothed her shirt, smiled, walked back toward the dining room, passed within 3 feet of me, didn't even glance over. I had it all on audio. Crystal clear. Tuesday evening. I sat at my usual table. Kendra brought water without being asked. What are you doing here? I looked up. Inez stood at my table, arms crossed, face flushed. 2 other tables had gone quiet. Eating dinner, I said calmly. The scallops are supposed to be... You've been here 4 nights in a row. The food's good. You sit alone, you take notes. Kendra says you're always on your phone, recording things. I set down the menu, kept my voice level. I'm a customer. I'm allowed to be here. Not when you're harassing us. Harassment? I ordered food. I paid. That's called patronage. Her voice rose. This is stalking. You're obsessed. About what? I interrupted, quieter, harder. Tell these nice people what I'm angry about. She stopped, looked around. The room was listening. You need to leave, she said. Now. Or what? You'll call the police? Tell them I'm eating dinner? Tato. Nate's voice, from behind her. He'd come out of the kitchen, chef's whites, exhausted. What are you doing? Eating your scallops. Please don't make this harder. I'm making this harder. I wrote you a check for $500,000. You excluded me from your opening, and now I'm not allowed to buy dinner? The dining room was silent, every eye on us. Nate looked at Inez, at me, back to Inez. Maybe you should go, he said quietly. I stood, slowly, put $40 on the table. Okay, I said, I'll go. I walked past Nate, stopped at his shoulder, spoke quietly, just for him. You were 8 years old the first time you made me breakfast. Scrambled eggs, bacon. You burned the bacon but didn't want to admit it. You served it with orange juice in my favorite mug. You stood there watching me eat, waiting for my reaction. When I said it was perfect, you smiled so big. My voice caught. I remember that smile. Nate's jaw tightened. His eyes got wet. That boy loved me, I said. I wonder where he went. I walked out. Through the window, I saw Nate standing there, frozen. Inez pulling at his arm. Public humiliation. Again. At this rate, Nate would ask me to leave his birthday party. Oh, wait, I probably wouldn't be invited to that either. I sat in my car, hands on the steering wheel, not starting the engine. Stupid. Sloppy. Obvious. I'd been so focused on gathering evidence, I'd forgotten basic fieldwork, surveillance. 101, be invisible. I pulled out my phone, texted Naomi, made a mistake, burned cover. Her reply, what happened? Tell you at home, but I got something good out of it. What? Nate's face when I left, he looked destroyed. 3 dots, pause. Tato, do you want revenge or reconciliation? I looked at my reflection in the rearview mirror. I'll let you know when I figure it out. Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. I opened my laptop, inbox, 147 unread emails. One caught my eye. From Truth Hurts 2020 proton.me. Subject, you want to know the truth? I clicked. Mr. Gardner, you want to know where your money really went? Check Inez Winter's credit history. You'll need her SSN, number listed. DOB, March 15th, 1991. Her laptop, MacBook Pro, rose gold. Password, Harvest 2024. She keeps a spreadsheet called Personal Finances Private in Documents. It tracks everything. Every casino deposit, every lie. Golden Palace Casino account, username, Inez W. PDX. $43,000 in debt to them alone. You deserve to know. Nate deserves to know. You didn't hear this from me. Someone who cares about the truth. I read it 3 times. Someone inside. Someone with access. But who? I screenshot the email, sent it to Naomi. Got this. What do you think? She video called immediately. Who sent this? No idea. Could be a trap. The password is too specific. Harvest 2024. This is someone close. What are you going to do? I don't know. This crosses a line. What line? Between observation and invasion? She stole your money. And I can prove that without breaking into her computer. Can you? Naomi's voice was gentle. You tried confronting them. They kicked you out. You talked to a lawyer. He said no case. Someone's handing you evidence. Someone anonymous. Maybe their agenda is justice. We hung up. I stared at the email. Harvest 2024. My phone buzzed. Text. Unknown number. Did you get my email? I froze. Type back. Who is this? 3 dots. Someone who's tired of watching her destroy everything. Check the laptop. Why are you helping me? Dots. Longer pause. I'm not helping you. I'm helping Nate. He deserves better. But he won't listen to anyone who loves him. Maybe he'll listen to the truth. Do you work at the restaurant? Doesn't matter who I am. Matters what I know. How do I know this isn't a trap? You don't. That's what makes it interesting. 3 dots. Check the laptop by Friday. She's downloading everything to a USB drive this weekend. After that, the evidence disappears. How do you know that? Because I'm close enough to see everything. Tell me your name. No. Why should I trust you? You shouldn't. But you're desperate. And desperate people take chances. The messages stopped. I waited. Nothing. I looked at my laptop, at the email, at that password. Someone who's tired of watching her destroy everything. Someone close enough to see everything. This was either the best gift I'd ever received or the most elaborate trap. Only one way to find out. Friday morning, May 2nd. I woke up knowing what I had to do. The anonymous email sat in my inbox like a lit fuse. Harvest 4. The laptop password, evidence waiting. But first, I needed professional help. The kind that didn't leave fingerprints. I called Marcus Reeves at 7 a.m. He answered on the second ring, former LAPD detective turned private investigator. We'd worked together 7 years ago on a documentary about insurance fraud. Silas, his voice was gravel and coffee. It's 7 in the morning. Someone better be dead, or you better be paying. I'm paying. I need financial forensics. Deep background, everything legal. Legal's expensive, semi-legal's cheaper. Let's start with legal and see where we end up. We met at a coffee shop on Hawthorne. I slid the folder across the table. Bank statements, Instagram screenshots, the LLC filing. I need to know where $500,000 went, I said. My son's restaurant. His wife's spending. Something doesn't add up. Marcus flipped through my amateur documentation. This your son? Yeah. And you're investigating him? I'm investigating the truth. If he's clean, great. If not, I shrugged. What if you don't like what I find? Then at least I'll know what I'm dealing with. I pulled out my checkbook. 3 days. Everything you can get legally. Public records, credit reports, pattern analysis. 3 days is expensive? So is $500,000? He smiled. Fair point. I'll need $3,500, half up front. I wrote the check. When do you start? Already did. Been running preliminary searches since you called. Your daughter-in-law has interesting spending habits. How interesting? Nordstrom charges on a Tuesday morning, interesting. Multiple casino transactions daily, interesting. He closed the folder. Your money's not all in that restaurant. Prove it. Give me 72 hours. Monday evening. Marcus handed me the bound report. 47 pages. That bad? I asked. Worse. Your daughter-in-law has a shopping addiction and a gambling problem. Started about 18 months ago. Escalated after marriage. I opened to the executive summary. $127,000 in debt. My breath caught. Keep reading, Marcus said. Credit card statements, casino transaction logs, loan agreements, each page another nail. Where'd my $500,000 go? Best estimate, $280 to the restaurant. Verifiable through permits and equipment purchases. $150 to paying down her debts. She probably told your son these were business expenses. $70K just gone. Shopping sprees, gambling losses. Nate doesn't know? About her debts? No way. She's keeping 2 sets of books. Business books he sees. Personal books he doesn't. Marcus's report had a section titled Subject's Online Activity Analysis. Apparently Inez posted Instagram photos of expensive dinners the same days she made casino deposits. Caption, Treating myself. Self-care. Living my best life. Yeah, with my $500,000. Very self-care. Much fraud. Tuesday morning, Portland Farmers Market on SE Yamhill. I showed up at 9 a.m. with a shopping bag. Browsed produce stands. Waited. Nate arrived at 9:37, looking exhausted. Stressed. Alone. He looked up from a crate of organic arugula. Tato, what are you doing here? I held up my bag. Carrots. Radishes. Same as you. Shopping. I still eat, believe it or not. He managed a small smile. I used to come here every Saturday, remember? You'd help me pick produce. You always bought me cookies anyway. What kind of father denies his kid cookies? I examined an heirloom tomato. How's the restaurant? His shoulders sagged. Honestly, harder than expected. Money's tight. Suppliers want payment up front now. All my money went into the business, though, right? The full $500,000? Every penny? No hesitation, complete conviction. Inez shows me the books monthly. Equipment costs ran over. Licensing fees were higher. But it's all legitimate business expenses. I watched his face. Looked for tells. 40 years filming liars. You learn to read them. Nate was telling the truth, or thought he was. Does Inez handle all the finances? She's better at it. I'm the cook. She's the business mind. He picked up the arugula. Why? Just curious, making sure my investment's being managed well. It is, Tato, I promise. That promise broke my heart, because he believed it. Nate looked like he'd aged 5 years in 2 weeks. Restaurant stress, marriage stress. Father didn't come to my opening stress. Poor kid had no idea his wife was the source of most of it. Ignorance isn't bliss. It's just ignorance with a higher credit card bill. Wednesday. I sat at my kitchen table. Marcus's report open. Proof of everything. I composed the letter carefully, printed it at FedEx office in Beaverton, wore gloves. To whom it may concern, I write to express concern about the financial stability of Harvest and Rye. Restaurant, 2847 SE Division Street. Co-owner Inez Gardner has significant undisclosed personal debts, $127,000, that may compromise the business's ability to maintain operations. Public records attached. As OLCC requires financial responsibility for liquor license holders, I believe this warrants investigation. A concerned citizen. I drove to a mailbox 20 minutes out of my way. Very spy movie. Very ridiculous. 76 years old, and I'm doing tradecraft. Should have been a spy. Or at least played one in a documentary. I called Naomi after. It's done. OLCC will get the letter Thursday. Inspector will probably show up Friday. How do you know the timeline? Marcus has a contact there. Anonymous financial concern about a liquor license holder. 3-day turnaround max. And when the inspector shows up, they'll ask questions about funding sources, financial stability, co-owner credit history, all standard stuff, which will expose Inez's debts. To Nate, to the inspector, to anyone who asks the right questions. I watched rain hit my window. Portland spring. Always raining. He'll find out, finally. Are you ready for that conversation? Which one? The conversation where he learns his wife's a liar, or the one where he learns I'm the one who exposed her? Both. No, I admitted, but I'm doing it anyway. Friday morning, May 9th, 10:27 a.m. I parked across the street from Harvest and Rye. Camera with telephoto lens ready. White Ford sedan pulled up. Woman in her 40s. Business casual. Clipboard. OLCC badge on lanyard. She entered the restaurant. Through my lens, I watched. 10:32 a.m. Inez emerged from office. Body language, confident, welcoming, shook inspector's hand. They sat at a table near the window. 10:41 a.m. Inspector pulled out documents, slid them across table. Inez's posture changed, stiffened, picked up papers. Her face went pale. Through the telephoto lens, I watched Inez's face when the inspector showed her the credit reports. Her expression went through 5 stages of grief in 10 seconds. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Elizabeth Kabler-Ross would have been proud. Textbook. 10:46 a.m. Inez walked toward the kitchen. Inspector followed. Nate appeared in doorway, wiping hands on towel. Confusion on his face. 10:48 a.m. All 3 in kitchen. Visible through service window. Nate reading documents. His expression, confusion, shock, horror. Looked at Inez. She talked rapidly. He shook his head. Backed away. 10:55 a.m. Inspector handed business card to Nate. Explained something. Inez looking desperate. Nate looking destroyed. 11 a.m. Inspector left. Through window, I saw Inez and Nate alone in kitchen. Face to face. The argument began. I put down camera. Turned on audio recorder. The long-range microphone picked up muffled shouting. It had started. I drove home. Sat in my kitchen. Waited. My phone buzzed. Text message. Unknown number. Stop. Just that. 1 word. I typed back. Who is this? 3 dots. Then, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what this will cost. How did you get this number? That doesn't matter. What matters is you stop. Now. Before it's too late. Too late for what? For your son. A photo loaded. Slowly. Nate. Sitting at a table in the restaurant kitchen. Empty restaurant. Lights off except one fixture. His head in his hands. Shoulders shaking. Crying. Timestamp. 7:43 p.m. 20 minutes ago. Another text. This is what you've done. He just found out. About the debts. About the money. Is this what you wanted? I sat down hard. Who are you? I typed. Someone who cares about him. Someone who's watching him fall apart because of what you started. She lied to him. She stole from both of us. I know, but he didn't, and now he's paying the price for her sins and your revenge. I looked at the photo again. My son, destroyed. He needed to know the truth, I typed. Did he? Or did you need him to know? I had no answer. Stop, the text came again. Stop before you lose him forever. I can't stop what's already started. Then you've made your choice. You'll regret it. The conversation ended. I sat in my kitchen holding my phone, looking at the photo of my crying son. My phone rang. Different unknown number. I answered. Hello? Breathing. Ragged. Then, Tato? Nate's voice. Broken. Nate, are you okay? She lied to me. He was crying. About everything. The inspector showed me. She has debts. So many debts. And she used your money to... A sob cut him off. I didn't know, Tato. I swear I didn't know. I believe you? Do you? Because right now I don't even believe myself. How could I not see it? I wanted to tell him. Wanted to confess. I'm the one who sent the letter. I'm the reason the inspector came. But I didn't. Where are you? I asked. The restaurant. Inez went home. I can't face her right now. Come to my house. I can't. I need to think. Nate, listen to me. I have to go. He hung up. I stood there, phone in hand. Photo of my crying son on the screen. I'd gotten what I wanted. The truth exposed. But looking at that photo, I felt no satisfaction. Only dread. Nate didn't come to my house that night. Didn't answer my calls. I sat up until 2 a.m., phone in hand, staring at that photo of him crying. Saturday morning, I drove past the restaurant. Closed. Sign in window. Private event today, closed to public. No private event, just a marriage imploding. That's when I remembered I'd installed that camera. 3 days ago, testing surveillance equipment, I'd mounted a small wireless camera in the alley across from Harvest and Rye's kitchen for documentation. It transmitted to my laptop via encrypted Wi-Fi. I'd forgotten about it after the OLCC inspection. Now I opened the feed and watched my son's marriage fall apart in real time. Saturday, 5:15 p.m. Through the open kitchen window, audio came through crystal clear. Nate's voice, loud, anguished. $127,000? $127,000? Inez, it's not that simple. The inspector showed me everything. Credit cards maxed out. Casino accounts. You told me those charges were business expenses. They were. The business needed. Nordstrom isn't a business expense. Golden Palace Casino isn't a business expense. Silence. Then Inez, quieter. You don't understand the pressure I'm under. Pressure? I work 16-hour days, and you've been stealing from my father to fund your shopping and gambling. Don't you dare judge me. You think it's easy being married to you? I'm tired of competing with your father. This isn't about him. Everything is about him. He's controlled you your entire life. He chose not to come to our opening. That's a lie. It's not. I invited him. He said he was too busy. You're lying. Show me the texts. Pause. Too long. Show me, Inez. I deleted them. You deleted the thread. Of course you did. I was protecting you. He smothers you. I freed you from him. Freed me. You isolated me. You turned me against my own father. For what? So you could steal his money? I have a problem, okay? But I was trying to protect you. By destroying everything I've built. By ruining my relationship with my father. Then maybe you should have been a better husband. Get out? What? Get out of my restaurant. It's our restaurant. Nothing is ours anymore. Get out before I say something I'll regret. Out! Sound of footsteps. Door slamming. Engine starting. Then silence. Long, terrible silence. Then sobbing. My son alone, crying. Watching your son's marriage implode through a laptop screen while sitting in your kitchen eating leftover pasta is a special kind of hell. Very 21st century. Very dystopian. I should make a documentary about it. Oh wait, I already was. I closed the laptop, sat in darkness. My phone rang. 2:30 a.m.? Nate. Tato? His voice was wrecked. What's wrong? Everything. A shaky breath. I need to tell you something. About the opening. I already knew. But I let him talk. Inez told me you couldn't come. Said you had a conflict. I believed her. I thought... His voice broke. I thought you chose not to be there. I drove there. I brought champagne. Your wife told me it had already happened. I know. She lied. To both of us. About everything. The debts. You know about those? I hesitated. The OLCC inspector mentioned financial concerns. She stole from you, Tato. $150,000. She told me it was business expenses, but it was her debts, her shopping, her gambling. I know. You know? How long have you known? Does it matter? Yes. Were you investigating us? Is that why you kept coming to the restaurant? Truth or lie? Partial truth. I wanted to understand where my money went. And you found out my wife's a liar and a thief. I found out your wife has problems. Serious problems. That's generous? He laughed bitterly. I don't think I can stay married to her. That's a decision only you can make. She manipulated me. For years. Made me think you were controlling when really she was. Turned me against you. And I let her. You didn't let her. She manipulated you. There's a difference. Is there? Because right now I feel like an idiot. You're not an idiot. You're a good man who trusted the wrong person. I want to make this right, Tato. I want to pay you back. We'll talk about that later. Right now, where are you? The restaurant. I'm sleeping here tonight. Come to my house. No, not yet. I need time. Silence. Phone connection humming. Tato? Yeah? I'm sorry. For everything. For not checking with you. For believing her. For treating you like you didn't matter. My eyes burned. You matter to me. Always have. Always will. I don't deserve that. You're my son. Deserving doesn't enter into it. He cried quietly. I let him. Get some sleep, I said finally. We'll talk soon. Okay, Tato, I love you. I hadn't heard those words from him in years. I love you too, kid. Sunday. I called Naomi. Video call, showed her the footage. You recorded their fight? Horror in her eyes. I didn't mean to. The camera was already there. I forgot about it. And you kept recording? Yes. Tato, that's private. That's their marriage falling apart. You can't use that. It's evidence. It proves Inez manipulated both of us. It shows a woman having the worst day of her life. You want to put that in a documentary? I looked at the footage, paused on Nate's face, twisted in anguish. I don't know what I want anymore. You wanted justice. Are you getting that? Or are you just enjoying watching them suffer? I'm not enjoying this. Aren't you? There's a moment where the camera stays on him, crying, for 3 full minutes. You kept recording. Why? I don't know. I think you do. Monday. Certified mail arrived. Court summons. Inez Gardner versus Silas Gardner. Civil suit for harassment and defamation. Hearing scheduled June 3rd. The lawsuit claimed I'd systematically harassed and defamed Inez, causing severe emotional distress. Severe emotional distress. From the woman who stole $150,000 from me. The irony was so thick you could spread it on toast. Tuesday, I met Gideon at his office. She's smart. He tapped the summons. Legally speaking, this is a good move. How is suing me a good move? She's flipping the narrative. You're no longer the wronged investor. You're the stalker ex-father-in-law. She's the victim. That's ridiculous. Is it? You went to the restaurant 4 days in a row, took notes, used recording equipment, sent anonymous complaints to government agencies. I was investigating fraud, which you can't prove without admitting to surveillance that may have violated privacy laws. He leaned back. This is why I told you not to do this alone. What do I do? 2 options. 1, settle. Drop everything. 2, fight. But that means discovery. Her lawyers will dig into everything you've done. If any of it's legally questionable, you lose. Those are my options. Surrender or risk jail. Welcome to litigation. I told him about the footage, the fight, the hidden camera. His face went pale. You recorded them? Audio and video? Yes. Did they know it was there? No. Did they consent? It's an alley, public space. Was the microphone directional? Pointed at their private conversation? I hesitated. Yes. Silas. He set down his coffee. Slowly. Oregon is a 2-party consent state. You can't record private conversations without consent. That recording is illegal. But it proves you committed a Class A misdemeanor. If that recording becomes known, you don't just lose the civil case. You face criminal charges. The room felt cold. What do I do with it? Delete it. Now. I can't. It's evidence. It's poison. If you try to use it, you lose. If they find out about it, you lose. But it shows the truth. The truth doesn't matter if obtaining it was illegal. I didn't delete it. I backed it up to 3 encrypted drives. I won't use it. I said, promise me. I promise I won't use it. In court. Gideon's eyes narrowed. That's a very specific qualifier. It's the best I can offer. Tuesday evening, I was backing up the footage when my email chimed. From Truth Hurts 2025 proton.me. I opened it. Mr. Gardner, you've been busy. OLCC complaint. Very clever. But you made a mistake. Inez knows you're investigating her. How? Because I told her. Yes, I'm the one feeding her information. I'm the one who suggested she sue you. Why? Because you needed a villain. You needed Inez to overplay her hand, and she did. When she sued you, she opened herself to discovery. You can now legally compel her financial records. Everything I've been giving you, you can demand it officially. She thinks she's attacking you. Really, she's giving you exactly what you need. You're welcome. But here's what you need to know. The camera in the alley? Inez doesn't know about it yet, but she will, because I'm going to tell her, not to hurt you, to push her to make another mistake, to make her paranoid. It's a trap, for her, but you're going to get caught in it too, unless you're smarter than I think you are. Your anonymous friend, I read it 3 times. The anonymous emailer wasn't helping me. They were playing chess, moving pieces, and I was one of them. My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Mr. Gardner. A voice I didn't recognize. Male, young, calm. I know you just read my email. Who is this? Someone who's been watching both of you. You and Inez. Playing your little game. It's fascinating. What do you want? I want what you want. Nate free of Inez. But I also want something you don't want. What's that? I want Nate free of you too. The words hit like a punch. What? You're as controlling as she is. Just in different ways. She manipulates through lies. You manipulate through money and guilt. I'm his father? Exactly. You've spent years making him feel like he's not good enough. Inez amplified that, but you planted it. That's not true. Isn't it? You gave him $500,000. But with strings, with expectations, with the demand that he prove himself worthy of the great Silas Gardner's investment. I opened my mouth, closed it. No words came. See? You can't even deny it. Who are you? Someone who loves Nate more than either of you do. Someone who's going to make sure he ends up free. Even if I have to burn down both of your lives to do it. You're insane. Maybe. But I'm winning. You're exactly where I want you. Inez is exactly where I want her. And soon Nate will be exactly where he needs to be. If you hurt my son, I would never hurt him. That's what makes me different from you two. The line went dead. I sat there, phone in hand, staring at nothing. Who was this person? And why did their words hurt so much? Because deep down, a small part of me wondered, were they right? The anonymous caller's words echoed for days. You're as controlling as she is. I tried to dismiss it, tried to focus on the lawsuit, the evidence, the plan. But the words stuck. Wednesday morning, May 14th. I sat in my home office surrounded by equipment. Cameras, hard drives, 40 years of documentary footage archived on shelves. Always from a distance, always as an observer. This time it was personal. This time I was part of the story. I opened Final Cut Pro, created new project, Harvest of Lies, a family betrayal. Target length, 30 minutes. Time to make the documentary that would end this. 5 days, 12-hour sessions. Editing, re-editing, perfecting. Hour 42 of editing. I'd watched the hidden camera fight footage maybe 50 times. Each viewing, new details, new moments of devastation. I was becoming an expert in my own son's marital collapse. There was probably a support group for that. Not exactly a hobby to put on a dating profile. Monday morning, May 19th, I called Nate. I need you to come to my house today, this afternoon. I don't think that's a good idea. It's not optional. 2 p.m., be here. What is this about? You'll see when you arrive. If you want any chance of us moving forward, you'll be here. Silence. Then, okay. 2 p.m. Nate stood in my living room, looking at the television screen, black, waiting. What is this? He asked. Sit down. Tato. Sit. He sat. I took the chair across from him, coffee table between us like a canyon. I made something I need you to see before anyone else does. You can't pause it. You can't leave. You watch the whole thing. Then we talk. You're scaring me. Good. I pressed play. Harvest of Lies, a family betrayal, a documentary by Silas Gardner. Nate's breath caught. Oh, God. Watch. For 30 minutes, neither of us moved. The credits rolled. Black screen. Silence. Nate was crying. Had been since minute 5. Tato, he whispered. I didn't know she... Watch it again. I rewound. There's a section at minute 18. The timeline. I fast-forwarded. August 15th, 2024. Harvest and Rye, LLC registered. August 23rd, 2024. Nate requests $500,000 investment. On screen, my narration. 8 days. This wasn't spontaneous. This was planned. Nate stared at the dates. I can explain. Can you? Because I'd love to hear how you register a company, exclude your father, then come asking for $500,000 with promises of partnership. He couldn't look at me. It wasn't like that. What was it like? We were going to include you. After. We just wanted to get the structure set up first. Liar. The word hung. Sharp. Final. You registered the LLC with just you and Inez. You could have put my name on it. You didn't, because you never intended to make me a partner. That's not true. Then why isn't my name on the LLC? Why did 8 months go by without giving me any legal standing? No answer. You betrayed me, I said. Not just Inez. You. From the beginning. Tato, please. Get out of my house. Don't do this. Get out. Before I show this documentary to everyone you know. He stood, walked to the door, turned. I'll make this right. I'll sell the restaurant. I'll pay you back every dollar. You can't make this right. There's no amount of money that gives me back my son. He left. Door closed. I sat alone, documentary frozen on screen, wondering what I'd just done. Wednesday, May 21st, Gideon called. I found something, he said. No preamble. Something bad. My stomach dropped. The recording? No. The LLC. Silas, they registered Harvest and Rye on August 15th. I know. That's in my evidence. Your son came to you August 23rd, right? Right. He showed me the business plan. I stopped. Understood. 8 days later. 8 days after they'd already formed the company. Without you. It wasn't spontaneous. It wasn't Inez manipulating Nate later. It was planned. From the beginning. I sat down. Room tilted. Nate knew, I said. Flat. Empty. Nate knew. I printed the documents. Drove to the restaurant. Walked into kitchen. Handed them to Nate without speaking. LLC registration. Dated August 15th, 2024. My bank check. Dated August 23rd, 2024. His face went white. 8 days, I said. You registered the company 8 days before asking me for money. Tato, let me explain. Did you know? When you came to my house. When you sat at my kitchen table and promised partnership. When you hugged me. Did you know your name was already on the LLC and mine wasn't? His mouth opened. Closed. Did you know? It was just... We were going to add you later. Answer the question. Yes. Barely a whisper. I knew. Something broke inside my chest. Final. Irreparable. You knew from the beginning. You betrayed me too. It wasn't like that. Don't blame her. This was before she spent the money. Before she gambled. This was the foundational lie, and you told it. I'm sorry. No. You're caught. There's a difference. I walked toward the door. Stopped. Turned. I'm showing the documentary publicly. Film festival. Hollywood theater. Everyone in Portland's food scene will see it. Tato, please don't. You had 8 days to tell me the truth. You had 8 months to give me paperwork. This is the consequence. I left. Behind me. Crying. I didn't look back. Thursday. Private screening for film friends. 6 people. Naomi on laptop. The documentary ended. Silence. Then Marcus Chen. Holy shit, Silas. You've made something really powerful here. The fight footage is controversial, Elena said, but it's also the emotional climax. Naomi's voice from laptop. Should he include it, though? Documentary isn't about protecting people's feelings, Marcus said. It's about truth. After others left, Naomi's still on video. Tato, are you really going to do this? Yes. Nate made his choice. When he registered that LLC without you. When he took your money with promises he never intended to keep. Those were his actions. This is the consequence. That's cold. You taught me that. You used to say actions have consequences. That's not punishment. That's math. I was talking about Halloween candy, not destroying your brother's life. Same principle. Friday morning, I created the Facebook event, Harvest of Lies, a family betrayal, documentary, premiere, Hollywood Theater. Sunday, June 8th, 7 p.m., free admission within hours, 500 plus RSVPs. My son had just watched a 30-minute documentary about how he betrayed me, narrated by me, edited by me. This was not standard father-son bonding. Dr. Phil wouldn't know where to start. Friday evening, email from Nate. Tato, please don't show the documentary publicly. I know what I did. The LLC registration, you're right. I knew. It was stupid. Wrong. The first lie that led to all the others. But if you show this publicly, you destroy any chance I have of starting over. No one in Portland will work with me. I'm offering everything. Sell the restaurant, repay every dollar, sign legal documents acknowledging what I did, publicly apologize, cut off contact with Inez. Do whatever you ask. Just please don't show that film. I love you. I'm sorry. Nate. I read it 3 times. Phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello? Mr. Gardner. That voice. The anonymous caller. I see you're proceeding with the public screening. How did you... Did you think I was helping you? No. I was orchestrating this. All of it. From the first email about Inez's debts, to pushing you toward the OLCC complaint, to manipulating her into suing you. I've been playing both sides. Why? Because Nate needs to lose everything before he can become who he's supposed to be. The restaurant, the marriage, you. All of it has to burn, and you're going to light the match. I'm not. You already did. The screening is in 2 weeks. 500 people will watch. By the end of that night, Nate Gardner will be unemployable in Portland. You're insane. I'm right, and you know it. That's why you're still going through with it. I couldn't speak. See you at the screening, Mr. Gardner. Front row. The line went dead. I sat there, email from Nate on screen. Documentary ready. 2 weeks until public screening. And no idea who I was really working for. I didn't respond to Nate's email. Didn't call him back. Didn't cancel the screening. The 2 weeks between announcement and screening were a slow-motion car crash. Monday, May 27th. Nate listed Harvest and Rye for sale. Initial price, $400,000. By Friday, $350,000. No offers. Week 2, $280,000. One lowball offer fell through. Week 3, $180,000. Desperation pricing. Still no buyers. Portland's food scene was already gossiping. The documentary announcement had made the business toxic. Tuesday, June 3rd. Emergency court hearing. Inez's lawyer argued the documentary violated privacy rights. Judge seemed sympathetic. I'm deeply troubled by the footage of the marital dispute. Inez and her lawyer exchanged looks. They thought they were winning. Judge continued. However, Mr. Gardner's counsel is correct that documentary filmmakers have substantial First Amendment protections. Motion denied. The screening may proceed. Outside courthouse, Inez found me. We need to leave Portland. Tonight. I overheard Nate. Where would we go? Anywhere. Seattle. San Francisco. Documentary will be online. It'll follow us. Then we change our names. Together? You think I'm staying with you after all this? Friday, June 6th, 4 p.m. Inez at my front door. I saw her through peephole. Didn't open it. Silas, I know you're there. I opened the door, kept screen locked. What do you want? She looked terrible. Unwashed hair, dark circles. I want to propose something. I'll drop the harassment lawsuit. Nate will drop the divorce. Clean slate. You cancel the screening tomorrow. I stared. You're serious? For the sake of peace? There is no peace. Just consequences you don't want to face. You're destroying your son. He destroyed himself. I'm just documenting it. She started crying. Real tears. Actual despair. Please, I'm begging. I'll sign over my half of the restaurant. I'll leave Portland. Just don't show that film. You had 8 months to disappear. Now you face the consequence. You're going to lose Nate forever. I already lost him. 8 days before he came asking for money. I closed the door, locked it. Heard her crying on the porch for 10 minutes. My neighbor, walking her dog, gave me a look. I didn't care anymore. Saturday, 11:47 p.m. Nate's voicemail. Tato, it's me. I know you're not answering, but I need to say this. I fucked up. Not just with the money or the LLC. I fucked up by not being honest from the start. I know tomorrow's going to be bad. I know people will judge me. I deserve that. But you're right. About all of it. The LLC registration, the lies, the betrayal. You're right, and I was wrong, and I'm sorry. I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed you to hear me say it. I'll be in the front row tomorrow, because I owe you that much. Goodbye, Tato. I listened 3 times, saved it. Didn't call back. Tomorrow, the documentary would say everything. Sunday, June 8th, 7 p.m. Hollywood Theater, 230 people. Overflow crowd, Portland food critics, restaurant owners, chefs, random community members, local blogger live tweeting, and front center, Nate and Inez. I'd insisted. Told them if they didn't attend, I'd release unedited footage online. I stood at front. Thank you for coming. This is a personal documentary about betrayal, manipulation, and family. I sat in back row, watched the audience watch my life fall apart. The documentary played, my narration, the financial breakdown, Marcus's investigation, $127,000 in debts. Audience, angry murmurs, head shaking. Then, the fight footage. Nate discovering truth. Inez's admission, their marriage shattering. Complete silence. Some people crying. I glanced toward front. Nate and Inez's silhouettes. Frozen. Trapped. The LLC revelation. August 15th. Registration. August 23rd. Money request. Audience. That's fraud? Someone said loudly. Final section. My reflection on betrayal. Image of unopened champagne bottle. Screen faded black. Silence for 3 beats. Then applause. Starting scattered. Building. Within seconds. Standing ovation. They were applauding. For me. For my documentary about my broken family. This was my vindication. It felt like attending my own funeral. Everyone saying nice things. Very touching. I was still dead inside. Q&A session. Woman. How are you coping? Me. One day at a time. Lie. I wasn't in therapy. Should be. Man. Did your son know about the gambling? Me. Not initially. He discovered it when the inspector revealed it. Food critic. What happens to Harvest and Rye now? Me. That's my son's decision. I'm no longer involved. Another woman. Are you and your son speaking? Pause. No. We're not. Sympathetic sounds. Young man. Is your son here? Is he watching this? I looked toward front center. Saw Nate's silhouette. Yes, he's here. Audience turned. Stared. Nate didn't move. Just sat there. 230 people staring at him. Moderator quickly. Next question. But damage done. Everyone knew. A man asked, did you consider mediation? I smiled. No. I considered making a documentary and showing it to everyone my son knew professionally. That's basically extreme mediation. Nervous laughter. Screening ended. People leaving, shaking my hand. Saying powerful and brave. I felt numb. I found him in men's bathroom, sitting on floor in corner stall. Nate! He looked up, face red, eyes swollen, destroyed. Everyone knows now. Everyone saw. I know. I can't work in Portland anymore. They all watched me betray my father. I'm done. Nate, you got what you wanted. You destroyed me. Publicly, professionally. Congratulations. He stood, pushed past me, walked out. I didn't stop him. Outside, parking lot. Inez found me. You won, she said. Quiet. Broken. Are you happy? I looked at her. This woman who'd stolen from me. She looked hollow. Empty. No, I said honestly. I'm not happy. Then why did you do it? Because you needed to face consequences. You needed revenge, and you got it. 200 people watched us fall apart. You destroyed my life. You destroyed your own life. I just filmed it. Same result. She looked at Nate in the car. You destroyed him too. He'll never recover from this. Never work in Portland again. You took your son and you broke him. Publicly, professionally, permanently. He broke himself? No. He made mistakes. I made worse ones. But you weaponized those mistakes. You turned family pain into public entertainment. You stood in front of 200 strangers and showed footage of your son crying. Truth doesn't make it right. I had no answer. She walked back, got in car. They drove away. I stood in parking lot, alone, surrounded by wreckage of my revenge. I drove home. Sat in car in driveway, engine off, hour passed, I'd won. Public vindication. Standing ovation. Inez was ruined. Nate was ruined. I'd gotten exactly what I wanted, and I felt nothing. Just hollow. Phone buzzed. Unknown number. Impressive show. You did exactly what I hoped. Destroyed Nate completely. Now he's free of everyone, including you. Thank you for your service. I stared at the message. I'd been played from the beginning. I texted back, who are you? 3 dots. You'll find out soon. Tonight, actually. I'm outside your house. I looked up. Across the street, figure standing under streetlight, backlit. The figure waved. I got out, started walking toward them. As I got closer, the figure stepped into light. I stopped dead. "Hello, Mr. Gardner," they said. "I think it's time we talked face to face." I recognized the voice from the phone calls. But the face was someone I knew, someone who'd been there from the beginning. "You," I whispered. They smiled. "Me." The figure under the streetlight stepped into view. I stopped walking. Kendra, the waitress from Harvest and Rye, 20-something, tired eyes, the one who'd reported my surveillance to Inez. "You," I said. "You've been the anonymous source all along." She nodded. "From the first email about Inez's debts to the phone calls. Everything." "Why?" "Because Nate needed to lose everything before he could start over. The restaurant was draining him. Inez was destroying him. And you—" A pause. "You were smothering him with expectations he could never meet." "So you manipulated us both?" "I gave you information. What you did with it was your choice. I didn't force you to make that documentary. You did that. You wanted this outcome. I wanted Nate free, from Inez's lies, from your control. Sometimes freedom requires burning everything down first." She walked away, left me standing there. She was right. I hated that she was right. We talked for an hour, standing in my driveway, then sitting in my living room. By the end, I understood. I'd been a weapon, aimed at my son's life, and I'd fired willingly. When she left, I sat alone with that knowledge. Tuesday evening, my phone rang. "Nate." "Tato?" His voice was rough, broken. "You happy now?" "Nate, I'm living in my car, sleeping in a Walmart parking lot. I haven't showered in 3 days. I applied to 8 restaurants this week." You know what they all said? I couldn't speak. They said, "We saw the documentary." They said, "We can't hire someone who betrayed his own father." One guy laughed at me, said, "How's it feel to be famous?" I didn't mean for— "Yes, you did. You showed that film to 200 people. You put it online. You made sure everyone in Portland knew what I did. You meant for this to happen. You betrayed me. I know. I've known for months. I tried to fix it. But you didn't want repayment. You wanted punishment, public humiliation. You wanted me destroyed." Silence. Long. Heavy. "You got your revenge," Nate said quietly. "You destroyed Inez. You destroyed our restaurant. You destroyed my reputation. Congratulations. You won. But I'm your son, and you didn't just punish me. You killed any chance we had of being family again." "Nate, please." The line went dead. I sat there holding the phone, dial tone humming, wondering what I'd become. I drove past the Walmart on 82nd Avenue. Thursday night. Saw his car, that old Honda Civic, parked in the far corner. I almost went over, almost knocked on window, but I just sat there, watching, like I was filming a documentary. At 11 p.m. he got out, stretched, walked to the 24-hour bathroom, came back with wet hair. He'd cleaned up in a sink. Then he got back in the car, reclined the seat, pulled his sleeping bag up. My son, sleeping in a Walmart parking lot, because I destroyed his life. I went to my storage closet, found old VHS tapes, digital files, family videos, set up viewing in living room. On screen, Nate, 8 years old, standing on a stool at my kitchen counter, cracking eggs, missing the bowl, laughing, my voice off camera. "That's okay, kiddo. Try again." He tried again, got it right. That smile. Pure joy. I'd forgotten that smile. Video cuts. Nate, 15, holding a boom mic on my documentary shoot, trying to look professional. At lunch, "Tato, how do you know you're telling the right story?" I'd answered, "You tell the truth. You show people as they really are." Good advice for exposing criminals. Terrible advice for treating your son. Another cut. Nate, 25, culinary school graduation, me in audience, camera running. When he crossed stage, he looked directly at me, mouthed, "Thanks, Tato." I zoomed in, caught it perfectly. His gratitude, his pride, his love. When did that change? I turned off the TV, sat in darkness, cried until I had nothing left. Wednesday, Naomi called. "Tato, I heard about the restaurant closing." "Yeah." "And Nate called you?" "How did you—" "He called me too. Crying. Said you destroyed his life. He betrayed me, Naomi. The LLC registration, the lies. I know. And he was wrong. But when he begged you not to show the documentary, what did you do?" "I showed it anyway. When he offered to sell everything and repay you, I said it wasn't enough. Did you forgive him?" Silence. Did you? She pressed. No. Why not? Because he hurt me. Because I needed him to understand. You needed him to suffer. You needed revenge, and you got it. But now what? You won. He's homeless. His career's over. Are you happy? I couldn't answer. Revenge isn't the same as justice, Tato. Justice would have been, get your money back, get an apology, set boundaries. What you did was revenge. And revenge doesn't heal anything. He betrayed me first, and you betrayed him back. Worse, you're even now. Is that what you wanted? I don't know what I wanted. Then figure it out, before you lose him permanently. She hung up. Friday. Package arrived, manila envelope. From Inez. 4 handwritten pages. Neat cursive. Dear Silas, I don't expect forgiveness, but I need to explain. I grew up poor. Really poor. When my mother got cancer, the medical debt buried us. I was 19. The debt was $87,000. When I met Nate, I saw a way out. Not just money, love, someone who believed in me. But the debt never went away. It grew. I was drowning. Too ashamed to tell Nate. After the miscarriage 3 years ago, we were 12 weeks along, going to be a girl. I fell apart. The gambling started as distraction, became addiction. When you gave us $500,000, I saw a chance. Pay off debts. Start clean. But addiction doesn't work that way. I lied. I manipulated. I pushed you away because I was jealous of how much Nate respected you. I'm not making excuses. I did terrible things. But I'm not a monster. I'm a broken person who made terrible choices. I'm in therapy now, Gamblers Anonymous. The enclosed check is the first installment. I'll send more every month until the debt is cleared. Please don't let your hatred for me destroy your relationship with Nate. He loves you. I'm sorry. Inez. Inside, 2,500 check. I read it 3 times. Cried on the 4th. She wasn't a villain. She was a person. Flawed. Suffering. Human. And I'd treated her like a character in a documentary. A subject to expose. Not a person to understand. I looked in the mirror. Saw myself. 76 years old. Successful career. Beautiful house. Awards. And no son. You destroyed him, I said out loud. To my reflection. You showed 200 people his worst moment. You made him unemployable. For what? Money you didn't need? Pride? My reflection didn't answer. You won, and you lost everything that mattered. I turned away, couldn't look at myself anymore. I called Gideon. 11 p.m. Silas, everything okay? No, nothing's okay. I need you to withdraw all the lawsuits. What? Why would you? Because I destroyed my son's life, and I need to fix it before it's too late. Silence. Then, what do you need me to do? Help me figure out how to give Nate a second chance. Not money, not pity. A real chance to rebuild. That's not really my area. You're a smart guy. Figure it out. I need business structures. Something that helps him without enabling. Something that says, I forgive you. But there are conditions. Conditional forgiveness. That's actually possible. Think fast. I don't know how much longer before I lose him completely. Silas, you're doing the right thing. No, I'm trying to undo the wrong thing. There's a difference. August 2025. 2 months since the phone call. 10 weeks since the documentary. It took that long. Dozens of calls. Hundreds of texts. Voicemails unanswered. Emails ignored. Finally, Nate agreed to meet. One conversation. Laurelhurst Park. Northeast Portland. Saturday morning. The bench where I taught him to ride a bike at 6. I arrived early. Sat. Waited. At 10 a.m. he came. Walked up from parking lot. Looked different. Thinner. Hair longer. Worn, but clean. Like he'd made an effort. He sat on the opposite end. 3 feet between us. Might as well have been 3 miles. For a minute, neither spoke. Just sat. Watched kids on playground. Dogs barking. Portland summer sounds. Finally, I broke silence. I was wrong. He looked at me. Surprised. Wary. About what? Not about being angry. Not about feeling betrayed. Those feelings were valid. You did betray me. I paused. But I was wrong about how I responded. The documentary. The public screening. Showing that footage to 200 strangers. Making you unemployable. That wasn't justice. That was cruelty. And I'm sorry. Silence. Nate's eyes filled with tears. As your father, my job was to teach you accountability. I did that. But I went too far. I prioritized revenge over relationship. Pride over family. That was wrong. And I'm sorry. He wiped his eyes, looked away, looked back. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. I just needed you to hear it. You hurt me, but I hurt you worse, and I'm sorry. Tato, let me finish. I watched old videos. You at 8, 15, 25. I watched you grow up, saw the moments I was proud, and I realized I took that person and I destroyed him, publicly, because I was hurt. That's unforgivable. But I'm asking you to forgive me anyway. He broke down, sobbing, full body sobs. I moved closer, put my arm around him. He leaned into me, father and son, broken, together. When he could speak, he pulled back. Inez manipulated me, but I let her. I could have questioned things, could have insisted on paperwork, but I didn't, because part of me wanted to prove I didn't need you. Stupid pride, and it cost us everything. We both made choices, but yours were worse. I lied about money. You destroyed my life. We're not equal here. No, we're not. That's why I'm apologizing first. What do you want from me? I want to be your father again, not your creditor, not your judge, just your father, if you'll let me. I pulled a folder from my bag, handed it to him. What is this? Open it. He did. Read, eyes widened. You bought me a food cart space? Alberta Street. Good location. 18-month lease, equipment included. 6 months operating capital. But there are conditions. What conditions? Therapy. Weekly. For 6 months minimum. Financial counseling and transparency. You show me your books monthly. Not because I don't trust you. Because trust needs to be rebuilt. With evidence. Why? After everything? Because I remember you at 8 years old, making scrambled eggs, burning the bacon, serving it anyway with that huge smile. I said it was perfect. Because you made it. And that made it perfect. I touched his shoulder. People make mistakes. Bad ones. You did. I did. The question isn't whether we made mistakes. It's what we do after. I'm choosing to try. Are you? He nodded. Couldn't speak. Just nodded. I don't deserve this, he whispered finally. You're right. You don't. Desert and deserve don't matter. What matters is, what do we do now? Keep punishing each other? Or try something different? What if I fail? Then you fail and we deal with it. Together. Like family should. Deal? Deal. We shook hands. Then hugged. Really hugged. It felt like coming home. October. Email from Inez. Dear Silas, I heard about Second Harvest. I'm glad Nate has a second chance. I'm in therapy. 4 months clean from gambling. Working at a nonprofit helping people like me. Sending monthly payments to repay what I stole. Thank you for giving him another chance. Inez, I replied, I accept your apology. Not because what you did is okay, but because I understand now you're a person, not a villain. Keep going to therapy. Keep helping others. That's redemption. One condition. Stay away from Nate. He needs space. Good luck. December. Christmas morning. Second Harvest food cart. Naomi's kids ran around. She video called her husband in Vancouver. They're coming, one kid yelled. I looked up. Nate locking his bike. Another beside him. 2 bikes. For you, he said, presenting one. Vintage Schwinn cruiser. Restored. Thought we could ride to farmer's market. Like old times. This is too much. You gave me a second chance. A business. A future. I'm giving you a bike. Naomi called. Stop arguing. It's Christmas. Ride the damn bikes. We both laughed. She's bossy, Nate said. Gets it from her mother. We stood there. Bikes between us. Portland winter morning. Gray sky. Drizzle threatening. Ready? I asked. Ready? We rode through Alberta neighborhood. Down to farmer's market. Like 20 years ago. Behind us, Naomi's voice. They're crying on bicycles. This family is ridiculous. But she was crying too. Inside the food cart earlier, Nate had cracked eggs into a bowl. Professional now. No spills. Scrambled? I asked. Of course, what, with bacon? Not burnt this time. I like the burnt bacon. Liar! We both laughed. First real laugh in a year. He plated the food. Set it in front of me, stood back, waiting. I took a bite. Perfect. He sat across from me. Tato, I'm going to pay you back. Every dollar. Forget the money. What? I don't want your money. I want this. Sunday mornings, breakfast, you cooking. Us talking. Every week. That's the payment. His eyes teared up. That's not enough. It's everything. Forgiveness isn't saying what you did was okay. It's saying what you did hurt me, but I choose relationship anyway. This? Us? That's forgiveness. And it's enough. He nodded. Couldn't speak. We ate in comfortable silence. Now, riding through Portland, bikes side by side, I thought about the year, the betrayal, the revenge, the cost. I'd spent months destroying my son's life, then 4 months rebuilding it. Destruction is always faster than creation. Revenge is easier than forgiveness. But forgiveness was worth it. Not because Nate deserved it, not because I'm a saint, but because being right felt lonely, and being family felt like coming home. We turned the corner, farmer's market ahead, smell of coffee and fresh bread, vendors setting up, normal, simple. Good. Nate glanced over, caught my eye, smiled. I smiled back. Not perfect, not healed, not the same as before, but together, honest, trying. The mountain air felt clean. I breathed it in, all of it. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.